probably the wildest thing about this story was the headline. When I read this and I read what the mother's response was to hearing and knowing that her daughter possibly wasn't going to survive, just took me back. And I was just like, how disconnected are we in this world to get pregnant with children, bring them into this world, go through 9 months of labor and all of the things that go through with that, to just treat your children like they're nobody. Is just ridiculous. But when y'all hear this, I want to brace yourselves. The details are going to be a bit graphic, but y'all have got to hear this wild story. Florida, y'all taking another huge L. All right, let's get it in. Let's go, man. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. Now, I read a couple different articles, but I wanted to use Daily Mail because they gave a little bit more of a streamlined story about this. So thank you, Daily Mail. A 5-year-old Florida girl died after her mother. So there was somebody who wrote me an email that said, this is not the child's mother. Maybe they were talking about a different story. If they thought it wasn't this story, I'm telling you, this is one that I spent 2 days researching information on. So if this is not the mother, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But based on what I've read, it says that this little girl died after her mother kidnapped her. So one would have to ask, how does a biological mother kidnap her own child? Does anybody want to take a guess at that? We got a live chat. Let me know what you guys think. We have a live chat. What would you guys guess to say? How can a mother kidnap her own child? Oh, that's right. Maybe it's because she didn't have custody. And then one would have to wonder, why didn't she have custody? Aha. Let's talk about this. This mother kidnapped her child, then led police on a high-speed chase. And it was at real high speed. I got a partial video of it if y'all want to see it. That ended with the vehicle crashing into a retention pond. Pamela Teresa, Tereza Cabrera, who was the mother, not this beautiful angel right here. We'll get back to her in just a moment. Beautiful little girl. Lost her life just because she got a stupid mother. This woman is Pamela Cabrera, 32 years old, led police on a 30-mile pursuit through North Jacksonville. And you know, it's funny. I've been to Jacksonville before. Shout out to Jacksonville. My big sister, foster sister, I love her. I think she still lives out there, but I've definitely been out there before. This happened on Thursday night, and it reached speeds of 90 miles an hour before she crashed her vehicle into a pond as she tried to exit the interstate. Police pulled Cabrera out of the water, but were unable to locate her daughter, Vanity. It's just the little angel that you guys see right here. And I always wonder, when people talk about Black Lives Matter, right? Black Lives Matter. I believe that they do, and I agree with you if you think that they do also. But I find it highly ironic, and I find it highly hypocritical when the people who destroy and take more Black lives than anybody are Black people. How many of you guys find that highly contradictory? Just in the nature that if Black women matter so much, and I believe that our Black queens do, and we're supposed to protect them, provide for them, and don't let nobody come against them, then why is it that more of our Black queens are dying at the hands of people who look just like him, who look just like them, who brought them into this world, who are supposed to be their caretakers? I mean, this ain't even the enemy. This is not even like all of these people who are coming over into the country illegally, which shouldn't be here to begin with. I want people here legally. This is not even at their hands in this particular case. Her own biological mother. But check out the rest of this. The little girl's name is Vanity, and a dive team eventually found the 5-year-old girl, but she was dead at the bottom of the pond. Now, Cabrera, the mother, was arrested on several charges, including fleeing or attempting to elude a law enforcement officer, vehicular homicide, and multiple counts of battery. When you wonder why this mother kidnapped her child, in 2020, she lost custody of this little girl as she battled schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. Let me say that again. For people who talk about mental illness and the mother was suffering and yous don't know what she was going through, Just Jay. Yous don't know her struggle, y'all. She battled schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. They felt like it was going to be unsafe for her to continue to parent this child. They removed custody of this child from her, and she made a conscious decision to kidnap the child from the person who was trying to protect the baby. But this woman is so damn selfish and so damn stupid, and I don't think that you can make an excuse for people who hurt, murder, and harm children. There is no excuse for this. That's what I want people to understand. I don't care what mental illness she went through. She shouldn't have been a parent. She shouldn't have been a mother. And in my opinion, I think that you should have to have a license to produce children. Your body, your choice. But you know what? If this is what you're going to do with your body, your choice, then maybe it shouldn't be your choice. Maybe we should have a government entity telling people when and where they should create children. I know that's contrary to the wise philosopher Tupac Amaru Shakur, who said that it's not right of men to tell a woman where and when to create children. So if that's the case, then stop making effing excuses for people when they do dumb shit. She could have left this baby alone. She didn't have to have sex at all. Matter of fact, let me take a shot at the men. Ladies, do y'all mind if I take a shot at these sorry ass men out here? Can I do that if y'all don't mind? I'm gonna do a little pandering tonight. Let's do a little pandering. Ladies, maybe these men ain't shit for sleeping with these crazy women. I think that these men will stick their junk in anything that has a heartbeat. And if you have the wherewithal, if you're not a paranoid schizophrenic or have mental issues, if you recognize it, then stop sleeping with men and making babies and not really understanding what you're getting into. Because these men will sleep with anything and everything, okay? I'm not saying I'm an exception. I'm just saying we need to be a hell of a lot more choosy, because the way that we're going about producing kids and not having families and just having kids, what do we call that? Babies for benefits. We're going about this all wrong. She lost custody. She was expected in court on Friday, but did not show up due to disruptive behavior. Officials say that she is currently undergoing a mental health evaluation at the Jacksonville jail and is expected in court for arraignment on April the 21st. So why do they have to give her a mental health evaluation when they said that they took custody of her child because she had paranoid, what was it? What was the term? Let me see if I can find it. Schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. Does that even sound like somebody that's safe enough to be in our society? Like, would you want to be walking to the grocery store with a bunch of those type of people walking around? I personally wouldn't. So if you're going to allow them to be out, fine. But if she was charged, let me see, I don't know if she was charged. Maybe they just took custody. I don't know. Maybe she didn't actually go to jail or whatever. But if they're going to do a mental health evaluation, I don't think people like that should be able to get out of jail, especially if you deem them to be dangerous. Okay? Jacksonville Sheriff's Office began pursuing the mother, Cabrera, after receiving a call about a kidnap in progress. The chase began after an officer attempted to approach Cabrera's vehicle at a traffic light, which prompted her to flee. Police followed Cabrera, who was allegedly armed with a knife, along Interstate 95 for approximately 30 miles until she drove off the exit ramp into the pond. I don't even know how she was able to make it 30 miles. Like, do they not have some type of police intervention to where they can maybe put like stop sticks down? Like, I don't understand how she was even able to make it 30 miles, but I digress. I just don't know much about that. Police exited their vehicles and rushed into the water where Cabrera was apprehended. Despite their efforts, they were unable to locate the little girl Vanity until it was too late. The little girl's cause of death has not yet been released because you don't really know what the mom did. You don't know if maybe the impact might have caused her to lose her life or if she just drowned. We really don't know. Cabrera's family told police that there had been an altercation at their Shore Rush Trail home before the abduction. Her cousin, here's the story. Her cousin, who has served as Vanity's guardian for the last 2 years, said that Cabrera has suffered from mental health issues for quite some time. Pamela wasn't a bad person. She just needs help, and she didn't get the help she needed from the government. So gonna blame it on the government. She wasn't a bad person. Yeah, you are a bad person if you cause your daughter to get killed and you kidnap her. Yeah, you ain't shit. You're a horrible person. You're a terrible person. Okay? She said, we tried to look for help plenty of times. We called police plenty of times to help her. We took her to a psychologist, and Pamela just needed help. Slacker claims that despite Cabrera's efforts, her cousin's mental health battle was like a roller coaster with many ups and downs. She claimed that Cabrera's struggles recently worsened after she got pregnant and ceased taking her dedication. Or medication. I think that means medication. It says dedication. I didn't read that wrong. It's spelled with a D. Anyway, even when she was admitted to a mental health hospital and she was taking medications, everything got worse now when she got pregnant again and she wasn't taking the medications. So that means that somebody's sleeping with a crazy chick and this crazy chick shouldn't have been having sex. But why is it that they don't put her on some type of birth control if you know that she's crazy? According to an affidavit obtained by First Coast News, when the mother would take her medication, she was normal and functioning, with relatives alleging she would act like herself and was able to think clearly. However, when she's off her medication, she would often lose track of time and go without sleep. She lost custody of Vanity after Slacker took care of the child, then 4 years old, for an entire month while Cabrera was unwell. She lost custody of, DCFS had required Cabrera, the mother, to complete behavioral classes to receive custody of her child. It's unclear if she ever enrolled in or completed the course. The 32-year-old's mother, Maria Ortiz, so I guess this is the grandmother, claims Cabrera was lost without Vanity. Ortiz actively tried to seek help for her daughter and was in the process of obtaining a power of attorney over her so she could help Cabrera make decisions when she was not in her right state of mind. The family has asked the public to withhold judgment, which I'm not going to do. Sorry, Granny. According to Slacker, can instead pray for us. There's a little girl that's dead. It's too late for that. We give you guys the fair usage, and we'll go from there. Right here. There we go. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. If you guys would do me a favor and please click that thumbs up to share this video. You guys are already doing an amazing job. So let's keep this thing going. Here we go.
Tonight, we're hearing from the family members of this 5-year-old girl who died following a high-speed chase, a chase that ended in a Southside retention pond.
I feel like there's a debt now in the world because will never get to see, just everything that she could accomplish or be. She had such a beautiful, big soul.
Loved ones say Vanity Cabrera loved dancing, had an infectious laugh, and had that smile right there that could light up a room.
It's such a tragedy. The child's mom, 32-year-old Pamela Cabrera, is now charged with vehicular homicide and eluding police. News4Jax reporter Renee Beninati talked to family members and joins us now live. Renee.
Mary, this family is understandably heartbroken and going through so much right now. Not only are they mourning the loss of Vanity and preparing for her funeral, they're also coping with the fact that her mom is behind bars here at the Duval County Jail facing serious charges. Here's 5-year-old Vanity Cabrera at the pumpkin patch, all dressed up and doing what she loved, dancing. They are now memories her loved ones are holding extra close.
She was full of life. She was full of joy. She loved to dance. She was extraordinary.
On March 31st, police say Vanity was kidnapped by her mother, Pamela Cabrera. JSO says Cabrera, armed with a knife, led police on a 30-mile chase. It ended when she drove her SUV into this retention pond off I-95. Cabrera was pulled out alive, but little Vanity did not make it.
I think since this has happened, you just feel that the world is different because she's not in it.
Court records reveal Vanity's mother has had a history with the law and suffers from bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. The documents say because of that, Cabrera lost custody of Vanity in 2020 and since then has been living with her sister. I talked to the child's aunt off camera who says she raised Vanity like she was her own.
And was just wowed by the way they loved Vanity and the way Vanity loved them.
This family says Cabrera also loved Vanity, and they do not want people to rush to judgment.
Because they don't want people to jump quickly or think she was evil or think, any of that. They want to make it clear that this was a person struggling and wasn't successful, getting the help that they needed.
Their loved ones are now focusing on keeping Vanity's memory alive and hoping that this tragedy can help raise awareness about mental health issues. Since Vanity's death, community members have rallied behind this family, and last time we checked, more than $10,000 has been raised to help lay Vanity to rest. Coming up tonight at 11, hear how you can.
All right, here is the court. We're not going to watch this all the way through. We'll watch a little bit of it. Skip through this a little bit.
Resolutions. I sent a copy, a courtesy copy of Dr. Meadows' report to your office. I do have a copy here for the court file. We'll leave this.
Your Honor, I can issue this conviction.
Okay, let's skip that. I'm not really sure. We'll skip that part.
Before police say a mother killed her daughter by driving into a retention pond, the woman called police hoping to get custody of the child. And yesterday, we showed you police body-worn camera video of the desperate effort to save 5-year-old Vanity Cabrera after a high-speed chase ended in the water. Police say her mother, Pamela, who did not have custody of her daughter, kidnapped the girl and led police on.
Okay, I knew I wasn't tripping, so I saw this on Law and Crime on YouTube, and you guys can look this up. Y'all want to hear what she said about her daughter? Y'all want to hear what she said about her daughter? Because I forgot to tell y'all this part. Y'all ready for this? She said, "The bitch better be dead." That's what they quote that the mother said about her daughter. I found that on Law and Crime in their title of their video that was posted on August the 4th of 2024. They got almost 1 million views on it. Let me say that again. It says Florida mom kidnapped and killed her own daughter and quote, "Bitch better be dead." This is the mother that they're saying loved her daughter so much. Huh? Everybody heard me say that, right? I just want to make sure everybody had a chance to hear. Do me a favor. Please hit that thumbs up and share this video. Please, please, please. Want to have one thumb up for everybody watching. Yes. She said the BITCH better be dead. And she's talking about this little angel here. Now, you tell me that's a mother that loves her daughter. Don't care what medicines you're on or not on. You wouldn't say that unless it was in your heart. Hate is in your heart and contempt is in your heart for this little girl. You know why I believe? I believe that she must have been jealous of her little daughter, that her daughter was going to grow up and be loved and become something great without her mom, and her mom has all these issues. I think she did it because she was jealous. She did this to her daughter because she was jealous, in my opinion.
A half-hour pursuit before crashing into a Southside pond. Cabrera survived and was pulled from the water in distress, but additional body camera footage obtained by First Coast News shows Cabrera just hours before the fatal wreck speaking calmly with an officer.
They said that you guys can make that happen at the court order.
But they're not even here, but you don't have a court order. And if you do have it, you don't have it here that I can see it. So I can't pull it up in the system because it's not a Duval court order. I'm trying to help you. But I don't know what I can do for you since they're not even here. Okay? So if she comes anytime soon, just call back and we'll come back, okay?
Thank you.
All right.
And Cabrera's criminal case is currently on hold after she was deemed mentally incompetent to stand trial. That status will be reevaluated at a March court appearance.
Jackson 911 was the location of your emergency.
Hi, I would like to report a kidnapping.
Vehicle's in the middle of the pond. We're going to enter the water. That's the suspect here.
Better be done.
It's a rainy evening in Jacksonville, Florida, where we join officers in a high-speed pursuit of a kidnapping suspect.
Jackson 911 was the location of your emergency.
Hi, I would like to report a kidnapping.
Vehicle's in the middle of the pond. We're going to enter the water. That's the suspect here.
Better be done.
She said that little BITCH better be dead. You see it on the screen, right? Can everybody see that? She said that little BITCH better be dead. Hashtag TTO. This woman should not have ovaries at all. Look at what it says. That's what she said. I'm trying not to rewind it, but I wanted to make sure that y'all caught that.
Middle of the pond. We're going to enter the water. That's the suspect here.
Better be done.
It's a rainy evening in Jacksonville, Florida, where we join officers in a high-speed pursuit of a kidnapping suspect.
Southbound on 95, about 105 miles an hour. Got light. First hands out. If anybody else will call it. Looks like we're jumping off on this exit here.
I'm going to try to skate through this a little bit.
You heard that?
Okay, here we go. I'm going to try to let it play.
She's all the way out there. Yeah, victim's in there. Papa 794. The vehicle is in the middle of the pond. We're going to enter the water. The victim's in the passenger side.
You heard that right. The chase ended with a crash into a retention pond with a child inside the car. Another officer arrives and jumps straight into action.
me ask y'all a question for those who believe that all police are bad and we need to defund police. I want y'all to tell me, how many people do you know that would have hopped out of their car if they would have saw this happening and jumped into this pond by the dozens trying to save the life of somebody you don't even know? Think about this. You don't know what the hell is in that pond, what the hell is in that water. It's Florida. It could be alligators in there. It could be any damn thing. They selflessly put their lives on the line to jump in there to try to save whomever was there. They don't know. They just jumped in the damn water. They all could lose their lives in that. Like, I actually heard recently about this man that went to a lake or an ocean. No, I think it was a lake. And he got in this water and there was something that was infectious in the water. And this man ended up getting an infection in his legs and it ended up killing him. Look, I'm just saying, you don't know what the hell is in this damn water. But they said, you know what? This is what we signed up for. We're going to risk our lives to save whoever it is that we need to save. I'm just saying. Just got to keep things in perspective. Shit, they ain't got no life jackets on. They didn't ask, hey, can you swim? They just jumped in. No life preservers, no snorkel gear, no oxygen. Under that water for a while too. She said that nobody punched her in the face.
Here, officers find our suspect, get this, floating on a tire and pull her into shore. Let's continue.
So, of course, the crazy mother survives. I'm not going to play this whole video. It's a lot more to it. Yes, the baby is in the water. She's in the car. They don't know she's in the car. And they did not get to her in time.
Focus on breathing, okay?
I didn't know it was this involved.
Come on, man.
Look at that. And she's fighting them the whole way. First of all, it'd be hard to swim, let alone trying to swim and somebody's fighting you. Huh? Do we have anybody who's ever been a lifeguard before? You ever tried to save somebody who's drowning and they end up trying to pull you down too? She's fighting them. Look at that. kicking and fighting and punching and scratching. Look at that. But she needed her medication, y'all.
Ready?
Oh, I just thought about that. Thank you, Reeves. They did know that the baby was in there because that was why they were chasing her down. Because she kidnapped him. That's right. I'm sorry. You're absolutely right. That's why we got the live chat. You're right, bro. Thank you. So let me correct that. They did know that girl was in there. They just didn't get to her in time.
Police identify the suspect as 32-year-old Pamela Cabrera, the mother of the kidnapping victim, a 5-year-old child.
Yes! Hands up! She's got cuffs! Cuff her! Was there a child in the car? Where was he? Where was he sitting? Front passenger seat. We couldn't see the car.
I didn't even know it was this much of this video. Like, I thought this was shorter than this. I don't know if she's currently pregnant or not. I did read that, but I don't know at what point. So I don't know if she's currently pregnant or I'm not really sure. I don't know. There's a bunch of people that wrote articles, a bunch of different websites. So if you guys can find it, you can maybe let me know in the comment section. I'm not sure if she's currently pregnant, lost it, gave birth. Don't really know. She sounds like a wild warthog. Thank y'all for clicking the thumbs up. I appreciate that. No, I think this happened recently. Let me double check. No, she lost. I think she lost the custody of her child in 2022. So she lost custody of her child in 2020. And this story was written in April of... I see it. Yes, you are correct. You are correct. I see it now. Yep, thank you. That's correct. So this is just now part of the body cam footage that nobody got to see. So this is just now coming out. So you're right about that.
Put her in there. Your spotlight and light this pond up so we can get inside out. Okay. Sit down. Sit down. Get in there.
Pamela is secured in a patrol car while rescue efforts continue. But let's rewind to earlier that day when it all began. Police received an initial call earlier from Pamela herself. Let's listen in.
Jacksonville 911, what's the location of your emergency?
I don't know the exact address. I think it's, let me see. Hold on. And the thing is that I need a cop to come. I think it's called. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna get to the street name. Okay, so I have visitation rights to the court. Mm-hmm. And she said I need to sit down. So I need to see her. She don't want to be in her house. So I said, I'm going to call the cops and they can, so I can see my daughter.
So she's called to the police and saying that she has visitation rights, even though she does not have custody.
Any addicted drugs or weapons?
No.
What's your last name? A good callback number for you?
This one.
What is this one? Okay, are you there at the
Yeah, I'm right in front of the house. Still not out of school yet. She gets out of school. They haven't even went to go pick her up yet. But I'm here because they're gonna go pick her up now.
Okay.
And I just need the cops to be here so they could solve the. Because she don't want me to be here, but I came because I got the visitation right.
Okay, I'll have officer out there to you.
Okay, thank you, bye.
You're welcome.
A short time later, an officer arrives at the home and talks with Pamela.
Yes, that was her. That was the mother. Yes.
Okay, so there's no court orders for any kind of custody orders or anything listed in Duval County under.
So she lied. She don't have custody. She's dangerous. Why couldn't she just leave this child alone? And this baby could have survived and grown up to become something great. Now she's dead because her mother killed her for nothing. So her mother's going to do life in prison and her daughter is permanently gone from this earth for nothing. Just because you couldn't leave her alone.
Your name or under her name.
So what does that mean?
It means that if I don't have any paperwork, there's nothing I can do anyway. Okay, so, and they're not even here. So what is it you wanted me to do? And
They said that you guys can make that happen. Me.
but they're not even here. But you don't have a court order. And if you do have it, you don't have it here that I can see it. So I can't pull it up in the system because it's not a Duval court order. So do you live in Lake City still?
No,
Where do you live now?
I live here
Where?
in a shelter.
Okay. So the paperwork that you do have for your court order is where? Is it at the shelter?
No, the case manager has that.
And the case manager is in Duval?
No, she's in Tampa.
She's in Tampa. Was the paperwork filed when you were in Tampa?
I think so.
Okay, so Hillsborough County has it.
Yeah, they probably have.
So you know what I mean? I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to figure this out. I'm trying to help you. But I don't know what I can do for you since they're not even here.
Okay.
Okay? So if she comes anytime soon, just call back and we'll come back, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Pamela reveals that she's homeless, but says she was granted visitation rights of her 5-year-old child. With the child and her guardian apparently not home, the officer leaves, but it isn't long until police are called back to this home.
Does she
She
have
has
custody?
temporary custody.
Okay. Gotcha. All right, let me talk to her and let's see what she wants to agree
All
with.
I want to do
Okay.
is visit her. Spend 5 minutes with her.
So of course this is before the
I'll
kidnapping.
talk to her.
We just got another donation in, so if you're listening, thank you to Julie. Julie, if you're listening, thank you.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
Don't
Your
go,
shot.
go.
That's a nice sticker. I like that. So,
I'm looking for
how
her.
you doing?
Looking for her custody
Okay.
paperwork.
I was gonna say she says she doesn't have custody paperwork. She says she just wants to get her for a brief time. But if she doesn't have custody paperwork, there's no way I can enforce that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. She doesn't have.
Yeah, let me get your phone.
Yeah, get my phone. It's in my phone. She's not allowed to have unsupervised visits with her. She's only allowed to have supervised visits, and I told.
She's only allowed to have supervised visits, and she's trying to see this child unsupervised. See?
Told her her that she wasn't allowed to come to my house. You cannot come in the house, Pam. I'm not trying to. Look.
So then what we doing?
I just want to. But I
Hold
pulled up.
Let's not.
I just want to see. I just want to see her, hug her.
Let's not increase
5
this.
minutes with her, but y'all making it a problem, baby. Come here, little boy. I love you, baby.
So what's the? If you don't mind me asking, what's the history of it?
She has she lost custody because she didn't get her mental health checked out.
She lost custody. Let's keep going.
Until they gave me custody until she was supposed to get herself together. Once she got herself together, they were going to give her back custody, but that just never happened. She ended up in jail, things like that. Yeah, so, but she does have to leave, right?
Yes.
She can't just be parked outside
No,
her
I
house.
agree.
Okay.
I agree. Well, she can be on the road, technically.
Right.
She can be on the road, but
right.
we'll get to that when we cross that.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna talk to her. All right.
Oh my God. Look at that. Y'all see that, right? She is pregnant. Look at that. Oh no. Look at her. Maybe I can make this bigger so y'all can see it. Hold on. That's the biggest I can make that.
All right.
Y'all see that? So clearly she did all of this while currently pregnant. She's homeless. Who is having sex with homeless women and getting them pregnant? How is she driving and have a car but no place to live? What man is sleeping with her and won't even give her a place to live? Will give her dick but won't give her a place to stay. And gonna do it raw? No condoms? God.
Her paperwork, okay? It's up to date and valid. All right. It says that she has the sole proprietor of the child. There is nothing in there that says that she has the right to give you the child currently. It doesn't say paperwork. If you had paperwork right now, if you gave me some paperwork and said, "Hey, you were allowed to see this child," then okay, cool. We give the child to you, okay? But I can't just give you the child, okay? It don't work like that.
I'm saying, but if I don't have the paperwork, but if I could get something that said I can visit her.
If you had paperwork signed by the judge and signed by the caregiver in the courts.
No, I don't. If you could get it on a picture, would that work?
No, it doesn't work like that. No, I can't just do that. Okay. I'm sorry.
So I'm
No, yes, ma'am. Until you can get some paperwork that tells me that you have access to the child currently for visitation, then yes, I would gladly let her know that.
So you don't have
Yes,
to do all
she's
that.
pregnant.
I'm gonna call again. To see if she wanna let me see her.
You talk calling this the lady here. She already said no twice that she doesn't want you to have it. Okay.
I know, but I want to see her. So she can come inside and see her.
Okay, well, she doesn't want that, okay? You understand?
I really don't understand why she don't want that.
Okay.
But I don't want to get trespassed.
Well, at this point, you're about to be trespassed, okay? I need you to leave. Okay? She's been kind enough to have me out here and ask you to leave, okay? She didn't tell me that she wanted you trespassed from the property. But if she did, I would be trespassing you immediately, so I'm giving you a chance to leave. Okay? Okay. Thank you, Mel.
The officer informs the child's guardian, later identified as Pamela's sister, that Pamela agreed to leave. That's when we learn this isn't the first they've seen of her today.
Yeah, no problem. I can't, and like I was saying earlier, she can be in the road.
Right.
I can be in the road. I can stand outside your house all day, you know.
Okay.
It's weird. But but okay, if she comes in your yard and she's constantly coming through by your house,
Right.
that's a problem.
Okay. Right, because earlier she was just trying to get to her room.
She was like walking around in the yard. So
That's not right.
yeah.
It's not normal. It's not right. If she comes back here again, give me a call.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you
And
so
I will
much.
trespass her.
Just a few hours later, a frantic 911 call.
Jackson 911 was location of your emergency.
Hi, I would like to report a kidnapping.
Where are you at?
I am in Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay, are you the one that was kidnapped? Who was kidnapped?
They came and took her, and she just sped off in the car with her.
She has no custody at all.
She has zero custody. I have all the paperwork. We literally just had the cops come today because she was in my house trying to, she was here at my house trying to take her, and we said no, and she took her anyways.
Do you know what kind of vehicle she was in?
Yeah, she's in a gold Nissan Murano. I have the license plate number.
How long ago did they leave?
She just left. She just sped off, right now.
All right. And is she supposed to be around?
No, she's not supposed to have, she's allowed to have visitation, but only supervised. So I was standing right there with her, my newborn, and she sped off.
She grabbed the child and sped off. Wow.
So technically, because I was standing right there, it was fine. But
so, okay, pause for a moment. Y'all, please hit that thumbs up if you're listening. Please hit that thumbs up. I want y'all to hear this. She's homeless. She's homeless. If she kidnapped the child, where was she going to take the child to? If she didn't have no place to go. No, she don't sound frantic. That's a little bit off. That's a little bit off-putting, but at least we're getting, calm, detailed information, I guess.
She just put her in the car and sped off.
Do you know if she had any weapons, been drinking, doing any drugs?
I don't know if she had any weapons, and I don't think she's on any drugs, but she is pregnant. I don't know if that matters. She's,
yes, it matters.
4 months pregnant.
Okay.
No. Where are we going to go? I don't know where she went. I don't know anything. She just took off.
Okay. We've got officers coming to you as fast as they can.
Pamela reportedly led officers on a 30-mile chase before crashing into that retention pond. Back at the scene, multiple officers are working to save the child.
Go ahead. Okay. If you check up. From where we are. We're about to evaluate. Transport one. Can you still see the car? Where are the firefighters related to that?
Let's go ahead and stop that right there because we pretty much know what happened after that. So if you guys want to watch the rest of that, it is available on YouTube on the Law and Crime YouTube channel. So make sure you guys go check that out. But again, my closing thoughts is I'm just so confused as far as this woman not having a place to go, being homeless, kidnapping the child to take her to nowhere, ended up running from the police for 30 miles, which is weird in itself for them not to be able to stop her before 30 miles at that level of speed. So you clearly noticed she was dangerous. She ended up careening into a pond, ended up saying that she hopes that her daughter is dead, which sounds like she intended to behave dangerously, knowing she wasn't supposed to be over there. It's just sad. And no, I don't blame the family member who had custody. So she's watching her, supervising her as she's visiting her own daughter, and then she just snatched her and ran. I mean, you just feel bad for this situation. But this mother I just want y'all to remember, don't feel bad for her because the mother's not a victim. The baby is the only victim here. So young Princess Vanity, R.I.P. To the mother, she just needs a life sentence, and she does not need to get off light. She don't need to be in no mental health program to rehabilitate her. No, she needs life in prison. People like this aren't going to ever do better. You hurt, murder, and abuse children. That should be the end. You shouldn't get another opportunity to do such a thing again. And she's pregnant. Don't think she needs to have reproductive rights, nor does she need to have access to this baby she's currently pregnant with. So just pray for this whole messed up situation. Leave a comment in the comment section and let me know what you guys think about this story. Thank you. And then says she hopes her daughter dies. How do y'all feel about that? Now, I want y'all to remember, for those who are new here and y'all say, oh, it's so hard to listen to these stories, I want y'all to remember that these children are the ones that actually have to live through this violence. All we got to do is listen to it, share the message, and advocate for justice. I think that's the least we can do to support these babies, okay? Now, oh, did I do that wrong? Ooh, I almost did it wrong. Hold on. Let me try to fix this. Almost crashed my system. I think we're doing okay right now. We're doing pretty good. How many people do we have watching? How many thumbs up do we have? Because if we get the 600 thumbs up, I'm going to give away. Do I have channel memberships to give away? Let me see. Can I give away y'all some free channel memberships? I can. So if you guys want to support the channel, thank you to Dre the Dream. Where you at, bro? Do you still got your wrench? I think he does. Yeah, he does. What up, Dre the Dream? Thank you for the donation, my brother, showing some love. Appreciate that. To Julie M. and Cash App, if you're listening, thank you. To my guy, Jimmy D. I got your Cash App. Thank you. Yvonne J. Dana. Oh, sorry, I got it. So thank you, Yvonne J. And also thank you over in PayPal. I think we had somebody. Hold on. It kicked me out. We're getting ready to start on story number 2 out of 7. So I don't want to keep you guys here all night long. Hold on. Let me make sure I can read your name. Y'all give me a second. This is from, I think I could say Candace and Kara for the PayPal if you're listening. Thank you very much. Also, thank you, Ash and Emmy, who sent in a birthday donation. If you guys do not know, my birthday is this Saturday. So thank you very much, Ash and Emmy, for showing some love by way of Cash App. You guys know I love you. Thank you for being here. You are here. You're in the building. We are on story number 2 out of 7, okay? These next 6 stories aren't going to be quite as long. I'm going to try to shorten them up just a little bit, even though it's a lot of information. So this next story is also coming from Daily Mail, and this is coming out of Texas. Damn. Why Texas always got to be messing up like this? Jay, with your story, it helps us to know, and if we see anything, say something. Thank you. Thank you, Cecilia. Appreciate that. I appreciate that. How many thumbs up do we have? So this next story is, we got 253, just under 400 people here. If we can get the 600 thumbs up, I will give away 5 additional free channel memberships, even though I think we've already given out like 20. We got channel members who've already given out some channel memberships. Sarah Gates just gifted another channel membership to Mary Malone. So if you're listening, you got a channel membership. So all you got to do is just thank Sarah Gates. Thank you, Sarah. What's up, Kydra? Good to see you back in the building. See, you still got your AFC channel membership and your moderator wrench. I didn't forget about you. Thank you, Soldier Girl. Exorcism for Girls. Is your background a green screen? Why does that matter? I don't know why that matters. No, it's not a green screen. Like, I don't know. Got a lot of money. And I stay at a lot of fancy places. Nonetheless, let's go to story number 2. Story coming out of Texas. Lord have mercy. I got to tell you guys, I hate every time I see it when Texas is in the news yet again, but my state is taking an L just like Florida recently did. Texas, y'all taking an L. I'm getting this story from Daily Mail. The people that y'all see on my screen, I don't have pictures of the kids because, believe it or not, they actually survived, which is great. So this is kind of a bittersweet story, but I'm going to tell you about these heathens These people who watch too many damn movies, and I think that they all need life sentences. All right, here we go. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. Getting this story from not Law and Crime, Daily Mail, because they do a good job really kind of streamlining this. So thank you, Daily Mail. Texas, an evil stepfather who subjected children to torture and abuse worse than the victims of war crimes. And the way that they actually worded this was they treated these children worse than Vietnam. It was like, what did they say? Like Vietnam war tactics or something like that? Vietnam war torture methods. Have y'all ever heard of some crap like that? I haven't. Vietnam war torture techniques on children is just a different level of stupid, man. But he subjected these children to this type of torture for almost 6 years, and has been jailed for 10 lives. I don't even know what the hell that means. David Michael Calhoun, who's 38 years old, was found guilty of unimaginable cruelty at a trial in Gainesville, Texas on Tuesday, and he received 10 life sentences. I'm going to give y'all some of the details. Do I have to give y'all a disclaimer? I think I do. I think YouTube might appreciate me giving you guys an additional disclaimer. Let me get it up on the screen. Boom. Following video contains material or information that may be harmful or traumatizing to some audiences. So if you don't have thick skin, if you can't handle it, you might need to exit the video. All right. Now, he abused at least 4 children, including stepchildren and nephews who lived with him in a rundown trailer in an isolated lakeside village near the Oklahoma border. Calhoun's wife, Ashley Elizabeth Calhoun, so you guys see him on the screen right there. Let me see if I can show you who's who. That's David Calhoun. So Ashley Calhoun on the left-hand side of the screen. We're going to talk about Morena Evans here in a second. Calhoun's wife, Ashley Elizabeth Calhoun, 37 years old, and Morena Grace Evans, 19 years old, face trial next month and are accused of similarly horrific torture of children. The torture, described by the DA as the worst abuse he has seen, including allegations of setting a child on fire. Let me say that again. What the F is wrong with people? They set a child on fire and using a red cattle prod on one of the victims, I guess to brand them. 4 of the victims, ages 16, 15, 12, and 10, were rescued, which is the good part of this. Cook County First Assistant District Attorney Eric Erlandson said that the abuse was the same level as suffered by prisoners in the Korean and Vietnam Wars. The prolonged period of torture that the defendant put the children through in this case is the worst abuse that I have ever seen, he said. The mental, psychological, physical torture that they endured for the better part of 6 years is unimaginable. The torture began in 2017 when Calhoun began looking after his nephews and was only stopped in 2022 when one of the kids escaped and they told on him. So we're thankful for that. Otherwise, they would have continued to keep being tortured. Yes, they are sadistic. Or satanic. Sadistic and satanic. That's about the only way that you can describe this. Trailer trash. What do we call this? Hood billies, snow billies, trailer trash, all of that good stuff. Load them up in the comments, guys, and let them have it. Feel free. The 16-year-old boy who escaped got help from a coworker who spirited him out of Texas to Omaha, Nebraska, where he was found by local police on August the 2nd. I hope I read that right. Erlandson detailed the horrific abuse to investigators, and all three accused were arrested days later and then indicted in November 2022. David Calhoun used white zip ties and black and gray duct tape around his wrist and forces him to lay on the ground under the table for what he described as feeling like days. Oh, feeling like days. Feeling like days. Like, I guess he felt like it like days. A search warrant read. The teenager had scars on his wrist from where the zip ties cut into his flesh. Prosecutors described how much Calhoun poured flammable liquid on him and set him on fire with a long lighter. The boy was able to put out the fire by rolling on the ground, but was severely burned and showed investigators a huge burn scar across his abdomen. Every day he was zapped with a 2-pronged red cattle prod, causing scars all over his body, including his genitals, which means they had this boy in there with no clothes on, which I'm going to also say that they were sexually torturing these children. The sadistic man also set the boy's private parts. I'm going to say that. His Johnson and his marbles. I'll say that. The sadistic man set the little boy's Johnson and marbles, because I don't want to say the words, set them on fire with a lighter, leaving even more scars. And yet more abuse to the boy's genitals. Calhoun put a yellow hair tie around the boy's manhood marbles for 24 hours. That is mind-blowing. Oh my God, I'm scared to keep reading. Oh my God, there's more. Oh Lord. Oh my God. All right, y'all might want to brace yourselves. There's more. There's more. Another time, Calhoun used pliers to rip out the fingernails and toenails, and the boy showed police how one of his fingers only had half of its nail. The teen said Calhoun and Evans beat him so hard with knuckle dusters. What are knuckle dusters? Or is that the same thing as brass knuckles? Knuckle dust? Yeah, I guess it kind of is. They're kind of like brass knuckles, I guess. So knuckle dusters. Calhoun and Evans beat him so hard with knuckle dusters that 2 of his teeth were knocked loose. Calhoun ripped one of them out, and one of the other children extracted the other. Oh my God. I don't even know if I want to read the rest of this. There's still more. His abusers put both of them in plastic Ziploc bags that police found later. The teenagers were frequently bashed with a 2 to 3 foot metal pipe showing investigators a 5-inch scar on his leg for a particularly savage beating. He was also stabbed with a utility knife, wounding his thumb. The victim was forced to eat human and animal feces. That's these 3 damn fools. Another time, the child was forced to pick up a red-hot welding rod and hold it in his hand, causing burn scars. We got some support there in the chat, so if you're listening, they call me B. Thank you very much for showing some love. I appreciate that. Lord have mercy, this is rough. Evans' alleged abuse, in addition to beating the boy with pink knuckle dusters, was more of a sexual nature. Didn't I just say that? Maria, which is this one, wore a latex glove on her hand and covered the glove in hot sauce. God damn. Do y'all want me to just stop? Because there's actually more. I don't know that I want to read any more of this. Do y'all? We're going to take a poll in the chat. Do y'all want me to just finish it? It's like one more paragraph. We're going to take a pause for the cause. And I'm asking you guys who are listening to the sound of my voice. I know y'all get the point, but I think you need to really, truly understand when you look into the eyes of these people, what they actually did and why I believe that every one of them need the death penalty. We don't need people like this on planet Earth. You say we need to know? I think what you said was probably the most important thing. All right, Lord have mercy. Here we go. Maria, which is this one, wore a latex glove on her hand and she covered her latex covered hand in hot sauce and inserted her fingers into the boy's area where the sun don't shine. That's an exit, not an entrance. Everybody catch that. He also reported on a separate occasion that Maria cut a lemon in half and inserted 1/2 of a lemon into this boy's hole where the sun don't shine in the rear end. The fuck, man. Detectives discovered that more children were abused at other locations across East Texas, including Harleton, Jefferson, and Athens. The abuse increased until it reached its climax, it's the wrong word to use, in the summer of 2022 in Cook County, Texas. The resilience and strength that the children showed in this case is awe-inspiring. They never gave up and showed tremendous courage from the very beginning. The lasting legacy of this case is that evil will not prevail. Even when things seem hopeless, the children were determined to make their story heard, which is why we are telling this story, because I need people to understand what's going on and why we believe that these people never need to see the light of day ever again. Pamela Miller, who is a senior policy analyst with the APSAC Center for Child Policy, classified it as intrafamilial child torture, whatever that means. A jury took less than an hour to convict Calhoun of 5 counts of sexual assault of a child, 7 counts of aggravated assault, and 1 count of assault strangulation. They took the same amount of time to hand him 10 life sentences. That sounds about right. 10 life sentences, then a 10-year sentence and 2 20-year sentences. All of those sentences are set to run at the same time, so that is concurrent as opposed to consecutive. It's not going to even matter with 10 life sentences. Let me give you guys the fair usage, and thank y'all for sticking with me on that because I know that was really difficult to hear. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. I hope they all get equal charges. I don't care what their age is or who told who to do what. I don't really care. I hope that they all get multiple life sentences and never see the light of day ever again. And I wouldn't even be mad if I just happened to read the news and just hear that the people in jail just happened to feel some type of way and treated them some type of way while in jail. Y'all hit that thumbs up, leave a comment. We only got a couple news videos.
A Cook County woman who was indicted with 2 others in a horrific child abuse case 2 years ago is headed to prison. Court records show 20-year-old Maria Evans pleaded guilty yesterday to a reduced charge of aggravated assault causing serious bodily injury. Evans was sentenced to 18 years in prison. Now, this comes 4 months after David Calhoun was found guilty for the sexual assault and torture of the child. He was sentenced to life in prison, and during his trial, investigators described the abuse as the worst they had ever seen, much of it too graphic to even report. Ashley Calhoun, who is also charged in the case, is due back in court next month.
20-year-old Maria Evans will spend the next 2 decades in prison after she pled guilty to a reduced charge of aggravated assault causing serious bodily injury. Evans was one of 3 defendants charged in this Cook County, Texas case. One, 38-year-old David Calhoun, was convicted in March on various assault charges and sentenced to 10 life sentences. The 3rd defendant in this case, David's wife Ashley, is due back in court next month. Now, a lot of this alleged abuse that we're about to get into, revealed during Calhoun's trial, is just too graphic to get into. I am telling you. It is so horrific. This is, I'm confident to say, this is the worst case of child abuse I have ever seen, I have ever covered. To give you an idea of this, Pamela Miller, who's a senior policy analyst with an institute that advocates for child abuse victims, labeled the abuse as, quote, intrafamilial child torture, saying it was almost indistinguishable from the type of torture that POWs, prisoners of war, and political prisoners suffered during the Korean War and the Vietnam War. Except here we're talking about children. According to prosecutors, Calhoun inflicted brutal abuse on several kids, stepchildren, nephews, inside of a 5th-wheel trailer. Court documents say the abuse started in 2017 after Calhoun started caring for his nephews. Caring is in quotations there. And 5 years later, in 2022, investigators found Calhoun's 16-year-old nephew in a Nebraska hotel room with several unrelated adults. The boy told police he'd escaped a home where he'd suffered severely. He showed them scars across his body, gave detailed accounts of being tied up for days, set on fire, burned, beaten, stabbed, and honestly, I think a word that I could use here that's appropriate, mutilated with objects. Again, I don't want to get into it more. It is nauseating. I physically got nauseous when I was reading what was going on here. And investigators later found multiple other victims. Calhoun's wife Ashley and Maria Evans, they are accused of participating in the torture of these children. Both Ashley and Maria, they testified against Calhoun during his trial. Maria says Calhoun started grooming her when she was 17 years old and that he forced her to abuse the children. She claims she was in fear for her life and she did what she was told. Ashley testified that her husband forced her to have sex with a minor that was involved in this case. Jurors were also shown a picture.
So they're trying to act like victims. Nope. And that's why I think that they need life sentences.
Of carvings on Ashley's chest that were done by Calhoun with a pen, We are talking sick stuff here. And as part of her plea deal, Maria pled guilty to that reduced charge of aggravated assault causing serious bodily injury. She was sentenced to 18 years in prison. No word yet on when Ashley Calhoun will head to trial or if she'll take a plea, but again, she's expected in court.
Trial is underway in Cook County for a man accused of the sexual assault and brutal torture of a child. 38-year-old David Calhoun, seen there, indicted in 2022 on more than 10 charges. He's accused of shocking the child with a cattle prod and other allegations simply too graphic to detail. Calhoun's been in the Cook County Jail for nearly 2 years on bonds totaling nearly $6 million. Two women, Ashley Calhoun and Maria Evans, also charged in connection with this case. Online records show they are both due in court next month. We'll continue to follow the outcome of this case.
I want y'all to notice how wild that is, the fact that both of the women are trying to claim that this man coerced them, groomed them, forced them into doing the things that they did. And they get a lighter sentence. And I think that in these situations, and I do think that sometimes you have to really truly examine a situation to make sure it is what it is. In a situation like this, I don't think that there is any room for an excuse for any of these women to do, watch, participate, see something, not say nothing, participate, and perpetuate this. I think they all should have got 10 life sentences. And I still believe that they all need life sentences, should never see the light of day. Keep those children in your prayers. I mean, if they make it and grow up and become something great, it'll be a miracle. And we pray that that happens, that they survive and that they can thrive and move past this and get some real help, some real counseling. Thank you guys so much for listening to this story. And we're probably going to just wrap that story from there. But easily one of the hardest things I've ever had to read. Screw all of them. And hopefully Satan will see them in hell soon. Real soon. I forgot to say there's a special place in hell for people like this. That used to be one of my favorite sayings.